In Malaysian politics, it often feels like accusations just get thrown out there first.
Hmm.
And the proof, well, that seems to come much later, if at all. It leaves everyone sort of trying to figure out what's actually true.
Yeah, definitely. It creates a lot of uncertainty.
And we've seen this again recently with Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and the Malaysia Communications and Multimedia Commission, the MCMC.
That's right.
So today, we really want to look at, well, how are Malay netizens thinking about this? What's their reaction to this whole situation as it unfolds?
Okay, so just a quick recap for everyone. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, he publicly accused Tan Sri Muhyiddin about defending foreigners' rights on the RON95 subsidy issue.
Right, a pretty serious claim.
Very.
Right.
And then soon after, the NCMC called Tan Sri Muhyiddin in. But they made it clear he wasn't actually a suspect.
Ah.
I said he was just there to give a statement as a witness about some viral TikTok video related to it.
Got it. So witness, not suspect. That's a key difference.
Exactly. And Tan Sri Muhyiddin, for his part, has, strongly denied everything the Prime Minister said. He's even demanded a public apology.
Okay, so that's the setup. Things are definitely tense. Considering all that, what do you make of this situation? What are you seeing, hearing online from Malay netizens about this? We genuinely love to hear your take, too.
Well, what's really striking, I think, is how skeptical people were right off the bat.
Skeptical about the accusation itself.
Yes, but maybe even more about the way it all happened, the process. You see lots of comments saying things like, oh, here we go again, accuse first, figure out the details later.
So a sense of fatigue with this kind of politics.
Absolutely. A real feeling that maybe this is just political fighting and it's kind of disruptive, a waste of time when there are other things to focus on.
That's interesting. And I saw some people pointing out what they felt was like an inconsistency, too.
Oh, in what way?
Well, they were saying, look, Tan Sri Muhyiddin gets called in to give a statement.
No.
But the person who actually made the initial claim in Parliament seemed to be, well, safe. Like no similar call-up for them.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that definitely fuels a perception of unfairness, doesn't it?
It does. It's like, if you make a big claim, shouldn't you have the evidence ready to go? That seems to be the underlying feeling for some.
Precisely. And then you have the questions about the Malaysia Communications and Multimedia Commission itself. There was quite a bit of confusion, maybe even some distrust about the story changing.
You mean from accused person to witness?
Exactly that. Why the shift? And you saw some pretty strong words online, people suggesting the agency might be acting like a lackey, just doing someone else's bidding rather than being neutral.
That points to deeper worries about whether our institutions are truly independent, I suppose.
It really does. And the criticism didn't just stop at the MCMC. A lot of netizens went directly after the Prime Minister's claims.
How so?
Well, remembering he'd said in Parliament, I've done my homework.
Mm.
Some people called him PMX online. But then when it came time for the proof, well, it wasn't immediately there. Instead, it seemed like the MCMC was told to go find it.
Which, to those critics, suggests maybe the homework wasn't quite finished.
That's the implication they drew. Yeah. It really shows this public demands for accountability. Leaders need to back up what they say, especially on something huge like RON95 subsidies.
Which impacts so many Malaysians' wallets directly. Millions of ringgit we're talking about, potentially.
Exactly. So there's this strong feeling like, please just focus on solving problems, not these kinds of political games or distractions.
So it really boils down to this big question, doesn't it? In this kind of environment where perception is so powerful, how does the average Malaysian tell the difference between actual facts and, well, political spin?
And what's the effect of all this back and forth, this cycle of accusing and denying? What does that do to national unity, to actually making progress, especially when it's about critical things like the RON95 issue, which affects everyday life and finances for so many?
That's definitely something to think about. This whole episode really puts a spotlight on the tensions between political rivals and also the very tricky role these communication agencies have to play.
Yeah, it's complex.
And it's clear people are paying close attention. They're not shy about questioning the integrity, the motives of their leaders.
It really makes you wonder about the long-term damage to public trust, and where the nation's focus should really be.
Remember to like and subscribe for more.